Welcome. In front of me I have the POLAR Vantage V3, that's some Aston Martin naming right here. Anyway, I'm gonna go through unboxing along with a quick look at the device along with its specs. So, popping it open, I think it's going to be easier to actually cut my way in. Right here we get some paperwork, and let's see, anything else? Nope, just basically paperwork. Warranty, I presume. The watch itself. Oh, nice. Let's take that off. It's already scuffed up. Oh no, it's just kind of like dusty. Okay. Still pretty weird. And the charging. Okay, there we go. Now yoink that off. And let's see if we can boot it up without plugging it in. Would be fantastic. Though I just need to find which button that is. Oh, there we go. Or I guess I already found it. Hello? You are booting up? Oh, there we go. Okay. Now, let's go over the specs right here. So, oh, that's a pretty substantial screen size right here. So, in terms of dimensions for this watch, it is a 47.3 millimeters width and 47.3 millimeters high. It's a circle, so probably high would have been better, but whatever. Thickness is 13.5 millimeters, and then we get weight of 57 grams. Total weight without wristbands is 39. So apparently most of the weight, actually, or decent chunk of it, comes from the wristbands. Now, the display right here is a 1.39-inch display, AMOLED with 454 by 454 pixels per, obviously, resolution. And they're advertising it that it's, what was it, 300 and... I can quickly find this. Guess I can't quickly find it. Oh, there we go. 326 pixels per inch resolution. Now the glass right here is also curved Gorilla Glass 3 as the one that covers the display. We have touchscreen, obviously, always on display, and ambient light sensor. Now, if we flip it to the internals, though there is not much to flip right here, obviously you can't really see them, we have a just mention of CPU speed, which is 275 megahertz clock, memory of 37 megabytes, and storage of 32 gigabytes, I think. It's 32,768 megabytes. I think that's 32 gigs. So there we go, that's the internals, and they are advertising this as a 129% faster CPU compared to the Vantage V2, so the previous version of this. So that's a weird way to market it, and it doesn't really specify what processor exactly is in here. Sorry for, give me a moment. So yeah, I don't really know exactly the processor in here. Okay, sorry for that. People here live in an elevator, apparently. Anyway, continuing on. So, I did mention the storage and all that stuff, and in terms of the geolocation, we have GPS, GLONASS, Galileo, Beidou, actually don't know what that is, Assistant GPS, Assistant GLONASS, and basically all the assistants for everything that I mentioned. Bluetooth 5.1 is running on here. That's a bit of a shame. I would really like to know when was this released, considering it has only Bluetooth 5.1 instead of the 5.3 that I would consider for this price you should be getting. Then anything else? Durability. So operating temperatures minimum is -20 Celsius and max is 50 Celsius. Now 50 Celsius is probably not feasible for living, so you shouldn't really be caring about that much too much. But -20, yeah, that's cold, but that's not like unreasonably, cold that obviously would affect the watch. so it's a bit would have been better to have probably a bit lower temperature. So you're most certainly not going to be going with this watch climbing Mount Everest, as this watch will, based on the operation, like temperature operation range, this watch will, I presume, stop working below this temperature. And yeah, that's not necessarily the lowest temperature. Now, in terms of water resistance, they have WR50, so I presume 50 stands for 50 meters. It's not really specified right here. And there's a bunch of languages, obviously, miscellaneous, just functions of the watch. So yeah, it's basically more from Polar, everything that you'd expect, I would say. Now, talking about a couple things right here, as you've seen, we did have a little wristband provided, so additional ones, which is significantly shorter than the one that comes here. That will be for skinny, petite little wrists like mine. These are the probably skinniest wrists on any kind of adult man that you can probably find. So yeah, this is something that I will be using as this just like I would be clipping on what the last one probably on my wrist. So yeah, that's it's a little useless belt that would be flopping around. But yeah, anyway, one last thing that I want to add here is the price tag, and this device comes at about, at least in Polish currency, that's 2,649 PLN. Now, if we convert that to US dollars, which that would include tax, that would be 673 US dollars, give or take, obviously a couple bucks, depending on how it's converted. So I presume it's probably like either 699 or 649 probably would be the more accurate without counting tax, though that probably should be a little bit more. Anyway, so yeah, about 670 US dollars should be with tax. And that being said, this is a pretty expensive watch, not gonna lie. And it is designed for outdoor usage primarily. That's what it caters towards with all its sensors, sport modes, and all that stuff. For a typical, like just messages and stuff like that, you probably want to pick up something more casual, if that makes sense. Something like for instance, Samsung watches or something along those lines, which will have a better user kind of like accessibility with all the applications and just more user-friendly design. This one, like I said, is primarily designed for outdoor usage, and that's who it's going to be catering more towards. Without those activities, it might seem a bit more bulky and not as good if we consider the price compared to some other competition, like I said, like Samsung ones. Now, anyway, with that being said, hopefully you found this video helpful, and if you did, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.